All right, what's up, guys? So today I'm gonna be doing a podcast with my friends, which you're gonna see in like probably a few seconds. Um, what I was gonna say is that these are a couple of my friends. They're right now in high school, so we're all sophomores, except for one of them, which is in ninth grade. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we're gonna do the first one. Is there life outside the solar system? So
Hmm.
who wants to start it off?
I mean, I'd say, I guess I can. I'd say, honestly, the probability alone, there kind of has to be. Well, the only thing is that they're not going to be probably flying around space, right? If they are
Exactly.
existing, they either they're either just like our level or a lower level, really, like microorganisms on another planet. They wouldn't be advanced to
They
do
wouldn't
Yeah,
be
something.
advanced. So yeah.
I would like to add on to Jeremy's statement. I think that they probably either would just be so suited to their current life, sort of like us, where they wouldn't be like so advanced that they would like reach us, or it could be like the opposite, that they're so advanced that they're able
They don't
to.
need us.
Yeah, so yeah, they don't need us basically, right? So,
Mm.
I mean, you know, there is chances that there's alien life, but from what we've seen so far, I think it's like pretty far away. So,
Also, yeah, Earth is like, I mean, over the like outer space is so big, there's no chance, right, that they're
yeah,
gonna find us or that
right.
we're gonna find them, even if we got the technology.
And that was with
I
that if you're
mean,
assuming that there is faster than light travel.
Right.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, thinking, right? Because it takes like probably like a really long time just to like go through like our entire solar system and then go outside our solar system. So assuming that we find a faster way to travel, like there's probably no way that we're actually gonna go that far out into the universe
Yeah,
because
that's
Yeah.
definitely
we'd
true.
probably all die on the trip, even if they started out as babies.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. I think most likely the amount of distance it would take, right? If like even if it's like 4 light years, it's gonna take a while. So like it's definitely gonna take so long that we're probably need to build like generational ships and like, you know, find new forms of technology to, like cryo sleep and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, so far, all
Uh-huh.
cryosleep has been a bust because you just die.
Yeah, so that's kind of the thing. All right.
Yeah.
Sam, any thoughts?
On the cryosleep, or you just decompose.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
really, if you wanted to do it, it would be like a generational ship, like you have to just your kids. We might see another alien or another planet. You're never going to if we ever discover like
Yeah.
faster than light or
Who would be willing to do that though?
I
Like,
mean,
putting your whole family through that?
yeah, I think honestly, like the real question is like, who's actually willing to be like, I'm gonna spend like the next 50 years in a spaceship only to just not see the end result, you know? Like,
yeah.
I
We
and
mean,
you'd
also
it's
can't
also
Sucks
forget
because
we
like if you go like at the speed of light, your body would just decompose at such a high rate
right,
because
because
like
time dilation, right?
because time. So then you'd probably last like at the most like 2 minutes, then you'd probably be turned to bones. You'd probably already die in like about a minute. So
Yeah,
there'd
I
be
think,
no point in using light travel.
and like the thing about light speed, right? You need like an infinite amount of mass and an infinite amount of energy, right? Which something we haven't found yet, right? Maybe the other aliens have found it, yeah, or something, but we haven't found it yet, right?
I we
uh-huh.
also would need artificial gravity, and that goes the same for the aliens. Every planet has a different atmosphere, and so you have to simulate that on the spacecraft because just long term, just in zero G's, it's not good for you.
Yeah, so I mean, there's two ways we can do that. Either one, we just do what we're currently doing right now, which is like we make all the astronauts exercise. But
Hmm.
the
I'm
other way is that we straight up just kind of like create like a centrifugal like ship where it spins around, and since of centrifugal force, it will create its own like mini gravity. Um, but the only problem is that that's gonna take a lot of time, resources, and that's like entirely like futuristic to the point where it's like, you know, can we really achieve that in the time we have, you know?
Yeah.
Probably not, logically
Yeah.
thinking.
And that would be like another couple thousand years from where we are right now. We'd all be dead.
Assuming that Earth survives that long with how
All right.
we're
Here's a
going.
question which I would like to pose because we're all reiterating the same thing. Uh, do you guys think that aliens can come to us? Like what if assuming right, we know that aliens, let's assume we have aliens, right? They developed way before us. Okay. They started like evolving way before us. Don't you think that they would have the technology to reach us or not?
I mean, yeah, but like,
I'd say no.
Okay.
I don't
if
think
they
they would
wanted
either.
to reach us, then if they had the technology to, and um, they had the intelligence to, they'd probably come and reach us. Either like they'd be like, trying to conquer us, or like, I don't know, um,
Curiosity.
yeah,
Curiosity,
curiosity.
yeah.
That's also part of it.
And
Like
also,
maybe.
I would like to add on, sorry to interrupt, but I would like to add on to what Jeremy said, where yeah, I agree with him that it's not going to be possible because like we are searching for all the plans for alien life. They're probably doing the exact same thing. So the fact that we haven't found anything so far kind of does goes along their lines, which is like
Well,
they probably won't find us for a while.
I mean, to be fair, our surge isn't that big. I mean, we've mostly just like checked our own solar system, which half of them are just like gas giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, we have found like evidence that there could be with like, Europa, like one of the moons, I think on Jupiter. It's like an ice planet, which means that there's water, and water means like there could be like small bacteria and like
Yeah.
microphages, like
Yeah,
or
yeah.
microphages, I forgot.
and
Yeah, but
also,
could be like in the water.
yeah,
And I think there might be plants as well. So there still could be alien life. They're just not developed to a certain sense.
yeah. No, I agree. If we were to find aliens, it would just be like a plant or an animal.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Um,
yeah.
anyone
And
who
the thing
thinks
is,
anyone who thinks
if
that
we
sorry.
oh yeah, yeah, my bad. Okay, but like, even if we went there and like we saw plants and then what if we like messed it up, you know? Because like for what we know,
Oh,
I mean no one's
I
came
see.
over to our area.
I see what he's trying to say. I think
It's like what if a caveman found like technology and I could have messed up everything, right?
yeah, I
Even
think I
now.
can understand what Sanat says. So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm basically gonna like simplify what you said. So I think what Sanat's trying to say here is that like basically like if we step on that system, right? Like let's say we go, there's a bunch of plants and animals and microbiomes, right? And we research and like step foot on it and walk and everything.
Yeah.
Then what if we just completely ruin the entire system? Like it's what if it's like there's like a specific passage which in my English we read called The Sound of Thunder. Uh that novel actually really explained it really well. It's like a passage about a man who they basically are living in a futuristic world where they can time travel and they can basically see dinosaurs and stuff. So with that, you know, the main question is that like should we really even tamper with this stuff?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I
in
mean,
the
Yeah,
ending,
like
yeah, in the
I
ending
kinda
of
agree.
that passage,
If I'm
literally
making
the guy dies.
if I
So
may continue on your point,
yeah, continue,
like it
please.
was one of the it was one of the, like the theories for what Planet X could be, and effectively it boils down to just to knowing it exists, and if there's life on it, that would just kind of fuck it up in a way. Because now, like, let's say they see a satellite, or just us setting foot on the place just like kills them all because we introduced a new element. Like, let's say there's no lead on the planet. We go there, our
like
ship has lead on it, they all die.
like you
Yeah.
know how like the conquistadors absolutely annihilate the American Indian population when they landed
Right,
in
that's
the
what
New
I was
Americas.
about to say
I,
because
Yeah.
like the old world to the new world is like a perfect example of contamination.
well, I mean, the only problem is though that the biology would probably be different enough that viruses wouldn't be able to transfer unless they're
I
also
mean, you
like
never I
mammals.
mean, you never know. I mean,
Yeah,
there's also like so many kind of different variables that are in this because we're dealing with completely new life forms that we don't know anything in order to make any
Yeah,
assumptions. Because
again,
yeah, so we can make assumptions all we want.
yeah,
It's just that it wouldn't make any sense. We could be like totally off the mark, or we could somehow be on point. It's like a really small chance though
yeah.
that we
'Cause
would
that's the
be
thing.
on point.
Yeah, you're completely right because the whole point of an alien is that it's unknown. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to match anything that we've seen on our planet.
Exactly. So my question is that like yeah, so like what Praneet said, right? Because like humans, right? Though probably like there's gonna be like an X variable missing or a Y variable we're missing, but with like aliens, right? We don't know anything. It could be like XYZ, like YWS, like so
The
many
whole
different stuff.
alphabet.
Yeah, like
And
so
then
many
for
different
all
stuff.
we know, they could like how we reproduce sexually, they could reproduce like asexually, or
Yeah.
like they don't even have genders at all. They could, or like even this might be funny, but like even their male concept could like be the one that produces the children and not even the woman. So
No,
assuming they have genders.
I completely agree. Like that is likely. I mean, we have seen it in nature before, right? Seahorses are the males hold the babies, right? But
Yes.
and if let's say they do reproduce asexually, right? Like snakes, right? Then that's gonna be like a whole that'll be like a genocide almost because at least with sexually, right? With meiosis and mitosis happening, right? There is some genetic variation around. But with asexually, it's almost like cloning yourself, right? If one guy
But
has the
I
same
mean,
trait, then the same generation.
but you never know that really,
Yeah.
because it could be like something completely different. Like what we think is that they're reproducing asexually doesn't mean that they're completely cloning themselves, because since they're like aliens, right? We have no idea about them. They could have like completely like different genetic makeup than we do. For all we know, they don't even have chromosomes and they don't even have like basic cell components. And the way in their asexual reproduction could be like doesn't have any will have like multiple like differences about how like their mitosis and meiosis work.
Okay.
So we can't really make that kind of assumption that they're all the exact same.
All right. Okay. So I think we definitely covered all the bases about this question. Um, so I think we can just go ahead and move on to the next one.
Wait,
So
if you wouldn't mind, like, could I make one more
yeah,
just
of
quick point?
course. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So I think you guys are going a bit too deep into this. Like, what if, not Rush, but basically, right? So, what if? Have you guys heard of the Mirror Earth kind of speculations?
I mean,
No.
yeah, that's a possibility, but
So,
yeah,
what
I've heard
if
of it.
it's like you guys are going too far, and what if they're just like basically us, just or like a different variation, like slight change, and it doesn't have to be like the same
Yeah, they're
reproduction style and all
purple
that, but
instead
it
of
could
like
be
this.
just slight changes based off the environment
So effectively, the
and the
universe is like,
ecosystem they're in.
so in a way, the universe is cloning itself
I
to the same
mean,
planet, same stars.
I think what Shahari has is like somewhat possible. Like it's not extremely, but it's somewhat because like if we're considering like is humans like the best evolution like possible, like as in like is this what like the final form kind of becomes sort of thing?
No, I mean dolphins are smarter than
Yeah.
us.
So yeah, so that's what I'm kind of thinking
Um,
like
Yeah, exactly. I think like like velociraptors and stuff like they can open doors. I feel like that's a good point that Jeremy made as well. Dolphins like it's genuinely like the evolution kind of it doesn't have to reach a point where it's like perfect. It's just like we are thriving on this stage as of now, and I think that's kind of a good point. Thank you, Jeremy.
Hmm.
alrighty. So does anyone want to add on to that? Want to go more in depth to that? If not, then we can just go ahead with the next question.
Sure, let's
Yeah, I
move on.
think that sounds good. Yeah.
All right, cool. So the next question we're going to be having is what happens if we go inside a black hole?
You
we
die.
would, I mean,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I should
that's
probably
pretty much
like
it.
sorry, my bad. I should probably go more in depth in this. So like we obviously know that you experience spaghettification and everything, right? But what happens if we really go in deep, like near the singularity point? Like what do you
Well, I
think
mean, wouldn't it just like be finding like an
You,
entire ball of condensed matter, like all the stuff that's sucked up?
You
Yeah,
probably
but
can't get out
Oh
since its
yeah.
gravity is so strong.
I
like in
mean,
Interstellar, right?
you,
It's been shown as like a 4D kind of like it's a pretty cool scene where it's kind of like a library in order of like where the past and the future and everything all meet at once.
Yeah, but you
Like a
also can't
4D.
forget that Interstellar is not trying to be fully scientifically accurate.
I
Yeah.
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
you
I
could
think
have
that's like more of a media thing. Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
like like I heard, I know I may like have the wrong idea about this, but I think there's like a theory that a black hole will probably lead to another place. So you could like you would you would probably die inside the black hole, but your remains might end up like in a completely different place. Your remains could end up like in the past or maybe the future or
Oh,
In
something like
another
that.
dimension.
like another
Or
dim.
yeah, or in another dimension.
Okay,
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
you
or
could just end up on the completely other side of the universe.
yeah. I
Or
mean, yeah, that's definitely true.
yeah, no, I do agree with that, Preetha. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't survive, but your body could make it somewhere. Because the
Yeah,
problem is the air would be sucked out your lungs effectively from the gravity. You know, same with your blood, pretty much any bodily fluid. But
I
your
mean,
body could make it somewhere.
maybe like like so. I don't know. There was like a theory I saw on like a really cool science channel called Kyrgyzstan in a nutshell. So basically, what it said was like when you burn a piece of paper, right? And then it turns into ash or whatever, right? You could, if possible, you could probably like take a paper, like an ash to paper conversion machine or something, like, and turn it back into paper. Do you think that's likely for, um, you know, us to basically take the information from the black hole, whatever is quote unquote lost here, and then revitalize it, like as in bring it back?
I mean,
no.
that would effectively mean like undoing decomposition effectively. So like
No, no,
something
no, not like bringing him back alive,
no,
as
but
in
like effective. It's something along those lines. You're undoing the damage, and that
Yeah, and
like
then
let's say someone's decomposed. You're undoing they're still dead, but you make their body pristine again. You know, but
But
that
it's
would be
also
kind of
like
like it'll be reversing decay, which would become impossible because now their body now all the things that decayed out of them, it's like all over the place now.
like also assuming that black holes are formed with
basically, but
And unless you're
Yeah.
technically you could if you were able to find a way to effectively stabilize it in a way. Like isn't that a theory? Like if you were able to stabilize a black hole, then it would actually become a full on wormhole. Like
yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
the problem is that if you could connect like a black hole, like basically, right? All right, I'm gonna have to use a bit of paper here. So basically, right, we have this kind of like space-time theorem thing. Hold on, let me unblur my background actually, so it looks a bit easier. So
Yeah.
we have this, right? And then the whole point of a wormhole is that we basically like can
nice
fold
shapes.
it in half, and then we can basically create like a bridge through here. Hold on, let me show you. So basically, you
there's
have
drawings
like
on there, by the way.
you fold it through there, and then you basically can poke a hole through there. So that's basically the whole point of a wormhole. But
Mm-hmm.
the only problem is that with a wormhole, right, it will it will most likely collapse on itself unless we find something called it like exotic matter, or if this like string theory is really true. Like, can we really do that? So like this is like wormhole seems purely theoretical, but I mean it is possible.
Yeah,
Theoretical, I mean untrue.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, technically, you could say the same about black holes in general, because technically, we can't really get up close and study them. When
Yeah,
something goes in there, they just kind of like disappear. We don't really know what's happening fully. We're just doing our best guess. And Preet is clapping.
I think that's a great point as well, Jeremy. Yeah. Thank you
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
highlighting them. So
okay.
now, do you have something to add?
Yeah. The black holes. I was watching this documentary, right, with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he was like talking about the black holes, and he was saying black holes are caused by like the like when they explode, which is called a supernova.
Hmm.
And I mean, like that's something like we can't even comprehend, because there's so much like energy that a star uses to explode. So like there's no way, I don't think there's any way humans like anytime soon at least are gonna be able to really get to a black hole
I
or
mean,
like use it in any way.
do you think since there's so much energy used from the black hole, like from a supernova, from
Uh,
right? Do you think we could use that energy in some way? I know it
I
goes
think
I,
off
there's too
topic,
much of
but
it.
we might be able to use that like energy for like
are you saying
something.
like the the radiation emitted, like when it explodes, right? Like all the gas which
Yeah,
comes out, or like the energy? Because I
yeah,
think energy goes to the black hole, not to the.
yeah. Maybe like I mean, you could use that energy maybe to like stabilize it, assuming. like if you have enough, then you could probably stabilize it for like a certain period of time, right?
Right.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah. I mean, technically, right? As long
But it
as
only
would let's say, sorry to cut you off. You can actually go ahead.
oh my bad. Oh yeah, so when the star explodes, it collapses immensely, right? Which causes the black hole,
Uh-huh.
and it collapses in like it doesn't take like a bunch of years to collapse. It collapses in a second. So there's gonna be there's gonna be so much energy. I don't think we're gonna be able to capture like any of it really.
Also, yeah, I mean, like when you mean capture, do you mean like how do you mean by that, Praneeth? Like if we let's say put like a cage around it, right? Like almost sort of like a big kind of like ball, right? Then what would we do? Like it would just like explode like the whole container completely, and then there would just be like no, all the energy would just be released, and all we would have is just like a bunch of flying debris and like melting, like a bunch of metal just already melted. So like or it completely vaporized even. So like what do you mean by
Oh,
like capturing it? How do you propose that we capture it?
Let's say it's heading towards Earth. You somehow find a wormhole. You use that to just like send it to another place, away from Earth.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, so last thoughts before I think does anyone want to say anything else? Like you want Jeremy, you want to like go more in depth into your explanation, or do you feel like you're done, or does anyone?
No, again, like it's all theoretical, so you can't really
Yeah,
go into depth.
yeah. So I think we can go ahead and move on to the next one. So what do you guys think would happen to us if the sun exploded? And let's say, right, the sun did explode. How do you think we could avoid it?
Okay, so how long does it take for sunlight to get to Earth?
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
So that would pretty much be how long before we know something's wrong, right? The
Right, but
last
the
rays.
effects. Oh wait, actually, wait, hold on. Actually, if the sun exploded like right now, 8 minutes. But yeah, so if let's say, right, if it didn't reach its red giant phase, right, and it just exploded in its main sequence, then it would take 8 minutes, and then the effects would happen like maybe in a day or two because like it
Well,
takes a while for
I mean,
temperature.
so are you saying So you're saying it exploded, right? We're confirming exploded, right? Not
Yeah,
not just disappeared. Well, first, so yeah, again, 8 minutes, and then we're gonna notice for probably like 2 seconds after that, there's no more light, and then the shockwave would hit,
right.
and then effectively Earth would be flattened.
Okay, could you go more into that last step? Like, what do you mean by how
Okay.
is Earth gonna get flattened?
Well, if the force will come, so pretty much it starts to push in. It starts to push down on Earth, which will mean that whatever side is facing the sun is going to effectively crumple inwards.
But
Pushing.
isn't it
And
plasma
it'd be
which can
really
will
hot
become
too.
huh? Sorry.
It'd be pretty hot too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, all humans would just die, and all life would die, but the Earth would have a bit longer to live.
Wait, quick question. Wait, wouldn't the sun be
wouldn't
plasma? So wouldn't it be somewhat deflected by the magnetic field which we have?
But I mean,
but
there's so
wouldn't
much concussive force that like it would punch through effectively. Like how you can force magnets together even if they're opposites. It would have enough to get through that, I feel.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I think that's definitely a good point. I mean, okay, and I think we cleared that up. So then, assuming right, we knew that the sun's gonna explode, right? Like some scientists said that in 2 minutes, like the sun's gonna explode, right? Or maybe like in 2 days or something. Let's actually make it a bit more easier. Like in 2 months, the sun will explode. What do you guys think we should do? So like, there's many ways.
there's nothing we can do though,
Why?
unless like
We would have
move.
to definitely go to another planet.
Oh, yeah, I think that's definitely the best
Well, the
option.
problem is it takes more than
Only
2 days
option.
to even reach the moon. We wouldn't escape in time. I
Yeah.
feel that getting out of the solar system would be something that would be like sold to, if we want to go the depressing route, it would be sold to rich people, right? And everybody else, well, you either get euthanasia or a cyanide pill, your pick.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Really, there's not any quick way to get out of it. You die or you die. Or if you're a rich person, you die a few seconds later.
All right.
That's a great point. Jeremy made depressing,
Yeah.
but yeah, true.
Wait, if we had futuristic technology, right? Like generation three, like next level, like almost like we can reach like almost like what? Solar system level travel,
Or
right?
like Star Trek.
Yeah, sort of like Star Trek basically, right? What would you do in that scenario? What would we do?
Well, again,
I'd
so
be
for
Lieutenant Worf.
I
Sure,
mean,
that's
yeah, well, I mean, so is it still the 2 days timeline before the sun explodes? Are we keeping that?
Yeah. To
Okay. Well, first off, people who already work on the spaceships, they will be fine. So really, that's the best way. Plan ahead, work on the spaceship, because then it'll probably bring you along. Especially if you're like an engineer or something, then you're way more important. And then afterwards, I don't see either lotteries or just pay. Like you got all the like geniuses, you get all the rich people who pay for it. Then you just do lotteries for whoever's left.
wait, would the ISS live if
Yeah,
let's say
but won't that take too long?
You have 2 days. You have enough time.
Yeah.
And Australia, I forgot exactly, but like I remember hearing about it, but apparently they just like do it a raffle whenever they wanted to conscript military people. Like, let's say everybody who's born on this day, they now have to do their military service. Felt like something like that. So there's like, hey, if you were born on February 1st, well, what's your lucky day? Or like, hey, if you were born in this time frame or something like that. Like, they wouldn't just be like one person only for each like marble. It would be more like a group of people. Like, or like the town of Fremont, California, they get to live.
okay, guys, what positions
Hopefully.
since we were talking about raffles and like oh certain positions will get more favors. What do you guys think will be like the positions which get the lowest favors? Like they will always come in last.
Oh,
People
criminals.
like us. Oh yeah,
Nah,
never
I don't
mind.
think they
Criminals.
would do that to
Criminals.
kids though.
I
No,
no, they would. They would.
No, like with the criminals,
Yeah,
right? They wouldn't even bother trying to pick them because no one wants a criminal on the ship. So the
Um,
criminals
yeah,
and like this
amen.
mentally ill people, right?
the
okay,
one
No
exception.
offense to
Okay.
them, but they're not even gonna be on the ship at this point. So
excluding
they
criminals.
won't let them go on. The people with disabilities, criminals, and mental illnesses will probably just stay on the earth.
Not unless they can pay enough,
Because
I feel.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
and
unless
homeless
they can pay
people.
it off. Oh yeah, and homeless. We can't forget about
okay,
them.
Oh, yeah.
excluding those people, like normal civilians with like somewhat of a job, right? What do you guys think with
Okay,
that?
they're not going to let kids on because kids are useless. If we're going to be frank, they're not going to be useful for the initial like takeoff and initial escape. So
But again,
really,
that's like kind of
Screwed up,
our
I
rest of
guess.
our generation, right? Like that's
Yeah,
everybody that's gonna live on after these kind of, activities
I
occur, right?
yeah, again, they'd probably just take anybody at 16 or over, and they'd probably also be an age limit. They don't want like a 90-year-old, even if they are rich, because they can't really help at all. So there'd also be a cutoff for like if you're too young, you're screwed. You're too old, you're screwed.
But I feel like at that futuristic element that Arush is suggesting, we would probably have like some sort of like like offspring generation or some kind of technology at that
yeah.
point,
Why
right?
don't we have
Yeah.
like a generational ship, right? Why don't we just put like the kids to like the cryo sleep,
But
right?
like, let's say we
Or
only have so much room, and so why put kids in cryo sleep when you could put, let's say we go to a planet that has like hostile flora or fauna. Then you'd want military people, or like, hey, we need backup engineers, kids, because then hey, they're still fine. We can just pull them out when we need them. But like kids, they're only useful when you land, and even then, half of them are going to probably die on the new planet if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
yeah, I completely agree. Um, but yeah, so seems like our timer is actually coming like really close to the end. So I'm just gonna like actually like if anyone wants to say any last things, you guys can say it. Otherwise at like 3 minutes, I'm basically gonna like cap it off and then we're just
Yeah.
gonna finish it. So we can still continue for the next 2 minutes. So I would just like to ask though, like, what about like would people like obviously they're kids, right? Is like what wouldn't they always want to put their kids in first and then themselves, like from like a family sort of view?
Yeah, but that means you have. But the problem is that this is a system. Well, some people that are higher up could probably sneak their kids on, or maybe like their grandparents. Like, if you're just like the middle class and and you're able to and you're lucky enough, you're important enough to get picked, your kids are probably still screwed.
Now they'd probably take like most of the kids because like you only take the adults, right? Then they'd probably just die off soon.
Well, and that's the
So
thing. Like, if we're going to go with cryosleep, then like you freeze most of the population. You keep like a skeleton crew, and when someone dies, you pull out somebody else from cryosleep. And then when you land, you get all those people. They start families.
I
So
guess,
again,
yeah.
that's why there's the age limit. Like probably nobody over like
So
40
then
would
does that
actually
mean there's
get
gonna
in.
be have to be like a gender balance where they'll only accept this many males and this many females?
Yeah, probably, honestly. Yeah.
I see. Wow. I mean, but like, okay, let's say we put those cryosleep, right? Those 20-year-olds and stuff like that, right? And then they start families over there, right? Well, what about like education and stuff like that? Like how would it work in that new area? God.
I mean, well, whichever government owns the spaceships, well, they'll just do pretty much what they always do. They'll
So would
teach
that
their.
I
mean
mean,
that
yeah.
teachers and like social helpers and stuff like that, would they also be part of the ship? Because technically,
It depends on if they get lucky enough, and they'll probably bring some. Again, experts on each field that could who could effectively teach the next generation. But
right.
like your average teacher, unless they're really lucky, they're probably just going to die.
Mm.
I mean,
And
yeah.
But I mean, again, these are like just human lives we're talking about, right? So I don't know how uh, like sort of generous we're gonna be in that
not
kind
to
of
mention,
aspect.
like, what about weight? Like, weight is like a heavy factor when considering about like space travel, because more weight means less speed. So
Fair enough, yeah.
basically, like, how would they like choose people? Because if like some people are like too
No
overweight, then
obesity.
like, you know.
I mean, I don't know if
not,
that's the
I'm not
biggest
trying to be
factor.
mean here. I'm just trying to be like realistic here. Like if let's say they're over what the considered weight limit, right? Like let's say they can only fit like 23 people and one person's like a pound off, right? And then let's say he's a pound over, and then let's say that pound over equals like 8 seconds less speed or something like that. Or let's say it's 8 miles per hour less than the escape velocity needed for Earth. What would they just like would that come into consideration?
Well, that raises another question. Would it be bad to just die? Like, it
Like
would
you mean
be.
accept our fate kind of
Yeah,
thing?
Jenny, let's say, because honestly, if you get on the spaceship, you can have a much slower and more painful death than just getting instantly obliterated by the sun.
And who would want to leave their kids too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're not bringing them along.
So, but like, okay, let's say, right, they said, oh yeah, we're not accepting any kids, all right? Do you think people are still gonna get on that spaceship? Like, let's say, assume like they're only inviting families, right? Everyone has one kid, okay? Doesn't
okay.
matter if they're just like by themselves or whatever, I don't care. But they all have a kid, right? And they say that you can go up there, right? You can escape Earth, but in exchange,
It depends on the parent.
yeah. So like, but the main question is that like, I think eventually there will be just so many people who won't go that it will just be like they'll actually have to accept kids, like
Yeah, sure, but at the same time, they could also just kidnap people, effectively just kidnap people. It's the end of the world. Nobody's gonna stop them. They're if we're going to the government controls all these ships, no one's gonna stop them. And let's just hope it's not enterprises. Hope it's like a corporation that owns all these ships, because then we're really fucked.
yeah. Okay, guys, so it's like there's only 1 minute remaining, so I'm gonna end the recording right here. All right, so what's up, guys? Hope you guys enjoyed my mini podcast I had with my friends. So yeah, I mean, make sure that you like and subscribe. Um, and without further ado, I'll see you guys later. Peace. Bunch of metal just already melted. So like, or it completely vaporized even. So like, what do you mean by
Oh,
like capturing it? How do you propose that we capture it?
um, don't ask me.
I mean, really, that goes into full sci-fi concepts. Again, the best way is to
I'm
find a
not
way
like a
to.
physicist.
The
I'm just
best
a high school
way.
student.
I think you
I
should let Jeremy explain.
So, like, you could
Oh, I'm
essentially
sorry.
say that, um, that, with the thing you're talking about is that you could remake those stars in the process, like from the black holes.
and
I messed up somewhere, haven't I?
All right. No, sorry.
My, how did I?
Sorry. I was
Yeah, my bad.
sneezing. I was
Oh, I'm
sneezing.
back. Sorry about that.
So yeah, I'm a bit.
Sorry, I thought I pressed the raised hand, but yeah,
Sorry.
that.
Sorry. Okay, so
Yeah, how
back
about we
to
just
the
forget about
back
that?
to the topic, right? All right. So, all right. Since we already cleared off this question, pretty. Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, sorry. I meant to send it in the private chat.
Shihari, you're also a
I'm
high
actually I'm
schooler.
so sorry. Wait, I don't know if I can delete that one. Yeah, I can edit
Yo,
it. There you go.
All right.
Sorry. Will
everyone
that show up
here
in
is
the
a high
podcast?
schooler.
But could we edit this part out actually?
Yeah, then at the part where I said I just edited it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no,
So
It's actually so bad.
all
it's like
right. So
Aurora
like
Borealis
what
right
I
there,
was
bro.
saying, let's go back to the main part we were here about, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all right. So last thoughts before I think. Does anyone want to say anything else? Like you want?